of my character in the film, of wanting to communicate with this physically challenged person. The care that had to be taken because we needed to convey to the audience what she was saying, and there was only one person, or perhaps two or three, in the script who could understand what she was saying, and therefore we had to spell it out to the audience that had come to see the film. So in many ways I felt that I was doing two roles, and how beautifully he was able to manage that and bring about a subject in a film which just remained with me throughout my life.
No, she disagrees. She disagrees with the poet. आंखें सपने नहीं देखती, मन सपने देखता है. मैं आंखों से देख नहीं सकती, फिर भी मैं सपने देखती हूँ. हमारा सपना है कि मैं ग्रेजुएट बनूं.
We trained for about 7-8 months with professionals. We were put in the company of physically challenged people. We had a few of them on set continuously to guide us. Sanjay's second assistant was a lady that was physically challenged and almost in the same condition as Rani was, and so she was able to guide us every time we erred or made a mistake. But I thought that he has an incredible eye for a frame, for his colors, and for his lighting. Magical, absolutely magical. Rakesh Mehra's Rang De Basanti. Rang De Basanti because it's very contemporary. Rakesh Mehra used to narrate the script to Abhishek and me, and had narrated it at least 15 times. And we used to look at each other and say, what is this script all about? We don't know what's happening. But not until I saw the film did I realize what a huge mistake we'd made in not doing this film with him. He was able to bring out the essence of the youth of the country in such a contemporary manner, and able to do it in such a strong and forceful and believable way that the youth of the country was actually emulating them after its release. That was the beauty of the story. Lage Raho Munna Bhai. Extremely, extremely noble film. Nobody could have taught us Gandhigiri the way Lage Raho Munna Bhai did.
अगर बापू को रखने का ही है तो अपने दिल में रखो ना. समझा क्या? इधर रखना मांगता है हार्ट में. अरे क्या नहीं किया उसने अपन के लिए. जेल गया, फास्टिंग किया, एक धोती पहन के आखे कंट्री का राउंड मारा, गोली भी खाया इधर. और अपन ने उसके लिए क्या किया? एक तस्वीर बनाकर दीवार पे लटका दिया और उसके नीचे आराम से रिश्वत लेता है.
Who would have thought that, you could make a film on Gandhi in the year 2006 and have everyone, a generation that never knew Gandhi at all, to start admiring and liking him and wanting to follow his principles and truly believe that, yes, he was the father of our nation. One of the finest films of Mani Ratnam, Guru. I like Guru because I think it is Mani Ratnam's one of his finest films. To be able to give this role to an actor as young as Abhishek and have the confidence that he would pull it off. I envy Abhishek for having got this role at this time in his career, because it's something that I would have wanted and I never got when I was his age. I doubt very much if I would have been able to do the amount of justice that Abhishek has done to it. And I don't say this because he's my son, I just say it as a colleague and as a member of his fraternity, as a professional.
अरे अगर इतना डरेंगे तो बिजनेस कैसे करेंगे? आप बेफिक्र होके जाइए, हम तो इधर के निधर हैं।
नाम क्या था तुम्हारा?
था नहीं, है और रहेगा देसाई।
Just the way Mani and Rahman create music and create moments for music is truly remarkable and incredible. You cannot find a single note that is wrong or ugly, and you almost feel as though it's A.R. Rahman who is the director and Mani Ratnam the music director. I mean, that's how they coalesce with each other. But truly a remarkable story. Beautiful portrayals. Mitunda, exemplary. Never seen him like this. And how wonderfully he portrayed that character. Just a great combination of everything.
चलिए आशीर्वाद दीजिए।
तेरी यही बदमाशी मुझे बहुत पसंद आई। एकदम से अकल और ईमानदारी की बात एक साथ कर देते हो। ये आदत कभी नहीं छोड़ना।
नाना जी, चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए ना, मैं आपको नहीं छोड़ूंगा, कसम से।
Welcome to this very special show in our continuing splendid 60s series on Hindi cinema. On this show today we're going to take a closer look at the Hindi film heroine, Madhubala and Meena Kumari to Malika Sherawat. It has indeed been an eventful journey for the Hindi film actress who has influenced notions of sexuality, fidelity, morality and fashion over the decades. Right away, let's take a look at some of the milestones in this eventful journey. Whether it's the lip lock, the skin show, norms of sexual behavior, or the politics of marital fidelity, the center of sexuality in Hindi cinema has always been the Bollywood heroine. From Devika Rani's treetop romance to Dimple Kapadia's rendezvous with a younger man, from Madhubala's feather-light eroticism to Malika Sherawat's hot-blooded kisses, sense and sexuality for the Hindi film actress has almost always been defined by the male gaze, and most of it began with the image of the Pativrata Bharatiya Nari.
I think in Hindi films, our heroes and our heroines are carved from our mythology. And it's not like Greek mythology, which was a distant thing in the past and has got no relevance. They are living examples today. And so filmmakers have largely modeled their heroes and their heroines on the existing mythological heroes. And so you see Sita as the quietly acquiescing wife to the desires of her husband Ram, as forming the basic model of what a good Indian woman should be.
The simpering, subservient, ideal Indian woman ruled the script through the 50s and 60s. Circumspect characters played by Mala Sinha, Nutan and Meena Kumari would never cross the Lakshman Rekha.
In the 60s, we had a film called Main Chup Rahungi, I Will Remain Silent, being considered a virtue for a woman. So in spite of the fact that we had Meena Kumari and we had Nutan and Nargis and all these people, they were largely heroines who, in spite of being protagonists, were largely within the stereotypical mold.
But even in the 50s, there were exceptions that proved the rule. It was a time when a newly independent India had an agenda of its own. A film that epitomized the nation with a woman quite literally was Mother India. Against an agrarian backdrop, Nargis represented India with inherent dignity. The role empowered the mother to kill her own son in order to stand by her principles.
Nargis is the all-time model with Mother India, because after that you had a whole lot of women, mother characters, especially in Salim Javed scripts, where the mother was a very dominant influence on deciding right and wrong for the heroes, particularly in films like Diwar, etc., or a very strong mother that you had in a very small part, Trishul, Wahida Rahman, etc.
But it wasn't just the mother. Films like Sujata and Bangini had strong female protagonists, where the woman could be the change. These two films alone made Nutan almost a catalyst for reform in a young and newly independent India. Sujata, for instance, spoke about the issue of untouchability.
In the
60s, popular actresses like Asha Parekh, Sadhna and Saira Banu ruled the box office, playing shy, pretty Indian girls with exaggerated glamour, amplified by their bouffant hairstyles. These actresses did little for the female protagonist, but someone who did break the mold was this young girl.
If you look at what I think really was a path-breaking film, was Guddi, with Jaya Bhaduri emerging as the girl next door, somebody that you could touch and feel. She was in a choti, she looked like the person next door, and a whole spate of films followed, making her a much more real person than she had been.
ये तो रेशम की है, तो क्या हुआ? मैंने तय किया है कि रेशम के कपड़े कभी नहीं पहनूंगी। क्यों? त्याग भाभी, बड़ा सुख है त्याग में।
The plain Jane, Jaya Bhaduri's strength lay in her realism. She could slip with ease into roles such as that of Uma in Abhiman, a character that grappled, although stoically, with her husband's professional jealousy.
मैंने तय कर लिया, अब मैं नहीं गाऊंगी।
तुम समझती मैं तुम्हारी शोहरत तुम्हारे नाम से जलता हूँ?
मैं नहीं जानती, आप जानते हैं।
So there you have it, Nargis, Nutan, Jaya Bhaduri, actresses who played strong roles in women-oriented films of their time. But Hindi films aren't just about the good girls, are they? Coming up after this short break, the bad girls of Bollywood. Don't go away, we'll be back in just a few moments. Welcome back to this special show on the journey of the Hindi film heroine over 6 decades. We now step beyond the Lakshman Rekha defined by the compliant female leads of the 50s and 60s to the truth and dare of the emerging Bollywood heroine who explored her sexuality. The early Hindi film heroine was expected to be passive and silent about her sexual desires. She was expected to have a virginal innocence, so all things overtly sexual, sensual and seductive had to be undertaken by, that's right, the vamp. the vamp was an essential snare catering to the male fantasy. From Nadira and Helen to Bindu and Arunairani, the vamp was the female Mr. Hyde. Unlike the heroine, she smoked, drank, gyrated in skimpy costumes and seduced the hero.